My name is Wabanoonkwe and I am an international makeup artist and beauty educator and motivational speaker. I actually started my entrepreneurial journey when I was 14 and later eventually branched off into, well, the first was a clothing business and then multimedia, and then from there into Turquoise Soul, which was an accessory brand where I did jewelry where trend meets tradition. It's kind of like a funky spin on bringing beadwork to urban jewelry. And then from there, I actually got asked to do a lot of photo shoots, participate in a lot of fashion shows, and so I quickly grew an interest into makeup, into hairstyling and photography, and from there I seen a need to work one-on-one with women, and it's kind of where I found my passion, and it eventually just led to being a makeup artist. And working for MAC for a couple of years, I had realized, there's a lot of women that come into the makeup industry who are clientele that want to take one of those days where they want to focus just on themselves, do a little bit of self-care. And sometimes it's hard for women to do that. Sometimes it's hard for us to take that simple moment out of life to concentrate on just doing a little bit of self-care. And so I figured if there's women out there just within our store doing that, then how are women like that in our Native communities? And so I decided to put together a program. I put a shout out on Facebook and said, would anybody be interested in doing a program with me about self-care, self-worth, and self-love? And oddly enough, I had gotten so many responses about women who had said they'd never done anything like this before. So then became reviving our voices through beauty. So my workshops are held predominantly in northwestern Ontario. I come to Winnipeg, Manitoba a lot. A lot of them are idealistically held in Indigenous communities, in urban areas where there are Indigenous people. I have done the US, I have done Canada, and as of recently, I've actually done Italy. We have seats of 16 to be filled, and usually they fill up pretty fast. It's nice to see a lot of women taking that moment to set aside for themselves. And so they sign up, they come to the class with no makeup on. Sometimes people are a little bit skeptical when they come in and they're shy because you're coming in with no makeup on, or you're coming in with no makeup knowledge. And so it's a good class because it kind of breaks down those barriers and we come in natural. And throughout the class we kind of insert techniques about self-love. We identify what we love about ourselves, and sometimes it's hard for women because I used to be that woman that didn't know what I loved about myself, and I used to be that woman with low self-esteem. And it's great to have somebody come in to your life to teach you about why you should love yourself, why you should see beautiful things about yourself, and why you should take that moment for self-care. We live such busy lives, it's important for us to have those moments to embrace, to remember who we are. I initially, when I put the program together, thought it was going to be like teens to early 20s, maybe to 30s, and surprisingly enough, I've had youth as far as the age of 7 that are getting into the makeup industry and wanting to be makeup artists. And the oldest that I have received in the class are kukums, our grandmothers. I would want to say maybe about mid-50s. And that was a lot of fun. I don't think that there is a limit of age in terms of self-care, self-love, and self-worth. And so it makes me happy to know that women of all ages come to this program. In most cases, a lot of the attendees, when they first come to the program, they've never experienced taking time for themselves. They're mothers, they're entrepreneurs, they're people who work a lot. They are, people who just never taken the time for themselves. Or they are people who want to learn new techniques because they have one small routine of makeup. Or they're people who actually just want to come to the class to have some fun girl time. So the difference between the beginning of the workshop and the end of the workshop is actually quite phenomenal. They come in very hesitant, very shy, kind of keep to themselves unless they come with a girlfriend or a friend, a daughter, or a family member. And so as the class goes on, we kind of talk about what we love about ourselves. There's a lot of joking involved. I really try my best to promote positive interaction and communication with each other by complimenting each other. I think unfortunately nowadays lateral violence is such a huge issue within our communities, and not just with that, with our own selves in terms of women communicating with one another. And so that's something that I really want to eliminate in my own sense. So in terms of these workshops, I really honestly truly promote positive communication. And towards the end of the class, everybody's laughing, everybody's sharing stories. There's some points where people get emotional and they say, I was never taught this type of stuff. I was never taught that it's important to take care of myself. And so the moment that they take that mirror and they look at themselves and they realize, wow, I did this, that's what makes me happy. It's those moments like that.